So, last night I got the chance to see Transcendence, directed by Wally Pfister, who's a very well-known director of photography, known for shooting a lot of Christopher Nolan movies, produced by Christopher Nolan, starring Johnny Depp, and like half of Hollywood, cameo after cameo after cameo of like cool Nolan stars. Most of them don't have more than like 15 lines, but they're all in it. There's not a lot of really positive things I can say about this movie. I really wanted this movie to be good. I want you, internet, to understand that I was rooting for this movie with the core of my being because I'm obsessed with the Singularity. I like the idea and the concept behind the movie. I love Wally Pfister's like photography. I'm a Nolan fan. I'm a big Nolan fan. And maybe it's the most frustrating movie I've seen this year because it had the potential to be so good. And there are these like 2 or 3, maybe I'll give you 4 scenes, sort of 2/3 of the way through the movie, that are really good. They're emotional, they're well performed, they're honest, some of them are action-packed, and you can see the movie that this could have been. But every other scene in the movie is just kind of terrible. The reasons this movie didn't work for me are as follows. Number 1, I think Wally Pfister tried to tackle too much. It dealt with scientists and religious rebellion, terrorism, and the FBI, money laundering, and it had too much going on. Technology and science kind of turned into magic by the end of the movie. It completely threw me out of the movie because it was so fantastical, and everything else about the beginning of it said that this movie was rooted in science. That it became so Lord of the Ringsy that I just couldn't handle it. The idea of downloading someone's consciousness into a computer and creating a sentient AI is already a big enough story that he could have taken 2 hours to actually focus on that, deal with the emotional, personal, and larger scale consequences of just that moment. It was idea over story, it was idea over the movie, and you can see that while they were making this movie, they sort of fell in love with the concepts and forgot about the movie. It was kind of like a combination between Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Her. Both of those movies tackled similar ideas, focused on one concept, and did them really, really, really well. Rise of the Planet of the Apes is kind of like is a very similar story to that of the Singularity, right? It's about a different being than humanity, whether it be an artificial computer or in this case, apes, coming to sentience, our relationship with that new intelligence, and inevitably the divide that happens because of our differences. Despite James Franco, that movie did it really, really, really well. It was action-packed, it was emotionally engaging, and it was interesting, and it asked those questions and left you wanting and needing to answer them for yourself. Her dealt with the relationship between a person and the romantic entanglement with artificial intelligence. This movie also tried to do that, but that movie focused on that relationship and asked us questions about what our relationship to technology is and what a romantic relationship means and how you can preserve a relationship beyond the physical and into something else. This movie tried to do both of those things, plus 7 others, and didn't really do any of them. It makes me really angry. So ultimately, I guess my review is Johnny Depp's face. It's just kind of sick and disgusting. I love you, Johnny Depp. I love you, Wally Pfister. I love you, Christopher Nolan, but maybe watch Transcendence on a plane. Subscribe to CineFix for more movie news and reviews and other sad things.